Hi everyone, it's December 10th. Not the biggest day in AI so far, but still some exciting news for you. First off, we'll talk about some of the latest enterprise deals. There have been new models that have been released recently, and then I'll tell you about what China is doing to get ahead in the AI race. All right, first off, Anthropic, the company behind Claude, they continue to add more and more enterprise customers. They just announced a major partnership with Accenture, the consulting firm, and Accenture will be using Claude in their enterprise workflows across banking, healthcare, retail, and the public sector. Accenture is integrating Claude into its various systems like their AI Navigator platform, their agent framework, and all their training programs for over 600,000 employees. Right. Well, if you've been listening to me, you know I am a big fan of open weight models. Mistral just rolled out Devstral 2 coding models and the latest lineup of the Mistral 3 models, which includes Mistral Large 3, which is a 41 billion active parameter model, and it has a total of 675 billion parameters, which is huge, and it also actually has a pretty big context window for open weight models. And just to clarify, active parameters means the number of parameters actually used like in a single pass in a single query. And the architecture that Mistral uses, even though that the model contains a total of 675 billion parameters, only 41 billion are actually active for any given token that you give it. So basically, this gives you like frontier model level capacity without actually having to bear the costs of a model like that, right? Okay, Devstral 2 has already matched DeepSeek V3.2 on the SWE-Bench Verified coding benchmark, and which shows that it can be a leading open weight model. And obviously, they can't just beat the top proprietary models like from like OpenAI, Google, and Anthropic, but it's still very good. All right, some news on the investment side. Microsoft just announced 17.5 billion investment in India and around 19 billion Canadian dollars into Canada to expand data centers and AI infrastructure. Amazon is putting around 35 billion into India for cloud and AI capacity, and then Qatar has launched a 20 billion AI infrastructure venture. All right. Now, a company that we haven't, I think, heard from recently, IBM is buying Confluent. Confluent is a real-time data streaming company behind the software called Kafka. The deal positions IBM to provide real-time data pipelines for AI workflows, and that's going to help in like industries that are very regulated. Microsoft's researchers improved the cancer mutation mapping accuracy by 20 to 30% by using AI driven protein analysis. And as these models get better and better, we'll start to see more and more scientific advancements like this. All right, moving on to China. China has unveiled a 2,000 kilometer wide GPU network that links remote or provincial data centers into one giant virtual data center now, or virtual GPU cluster. They're using a new high-speed optical fabric, which they're claiming gives them around 98% of the efficiency of a single data center, which is like mind-boggling at that scale if they've really gotten to that point. And obviously the idea behind this is to train models faster and like run inference from anywhere by unifying all of China's scattered compute capacity into like one coordinated consolidated pool. And you know that US has banned the exports of the latest NVIDIA GPUs to China, which has limited them in training the latest best models. But even without that, they've been coming up with the best open weight models like DeepSeek and Quen. And actually, China is actually pushing its companies or forcing its companies to not rely on NVIDIA's GPUs and trying to use more local chips from from their manufacturers. And if somebody does want to use American chips, they have to really justify why the Chinese chips were not useful for them. So basically, with this new cluster, China is pretty much rewriting the rules. Instead of like fighting for the best like GPU, they're building like the biggest GPU fabric. And in the long term, this might actually be just as powerful and actually help them basically like give them what they need for like AI dominance. All right. Some fundraising startup highlights. Recursive raised 35 million to automate chip design with AI. So this platform will it will use AI agents to basically generate, validate, and optimize semiconductor architectures, which is going to be a pretty huge thing if it works. And then Surf raised 15 million for crypto native AI infrastructure, basically tools that let AI models access uh, like blockchains, data, wallets, and like smart contracts natively. Finally, Source Graph has spun out AMP, which is an autonomous coding agent platform that aims to offer free access, if which with free access, but it's going to be supported by advertising rather than like a subscription model. So this is the first time we're kind of seeing um, advertising used to subsidize like AI models. And finally, Opera, the web browser, is now integrating Google's Gemini models directly into its browser suite. So it will help with like search assistant, like agents that can help you do shopping, navigate pages, give you summaries and things like that. All right, so that was a quick update today. I think it's going to be a big week ahead. We're still waiting for the next GPT 5.2 model, and let's see when that gets released. So that's all for now, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.